No, you're not gonna mute me, you crippled bitch. I'm so mad.
Now broadcasting from the Next Gen Conservative Studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report with Sam Whitfield.
Holy shit, there's like an echo.
Is there an echo? I think we're good.
Anyway,
you bitch. You fucking bitch. I cannot believe you, Sammy.
It may not sound like we're starting in fucking hot, but no, we are starting in hot. We were mid conversation when that live button hit.
No, ladies and gentlemen, Sammy and I started the show. I thought I was joining the show, like after he'd been talking for a few minutes to the audience, like a minute or two. Like
yeah, there someone's echoing. I have no idea who it is.
It can't.
I don't. I hear a faint echo, but
oh, okay. I think it's fixed now. Anyway,
have we had enough dead air? Apex, you with us?
I mean, I'm trying to talk. I've been trying to talk the whole time.
Oh, okay. Try now. Shit.
Yeah. Check. Hello.
Okay.
Is it
you're
me?
good. No, you're good. Just go.
The stars and stripes are bright at night, deep in the heart of Texas. I mean, I don't know. What's going on? What are we doing?
You were telling the audience how you were already ran into the show hot. Oh. And you were waiting for him to talk, and then you thought you were joining on.
Oh no. I mean, we talked for 20 minutes, and I thought we were doing a show. And I'm very mad at him for not being like, we're not live yet, because I was doing like
I had to come in and tell you, because you had said for the audience, and I was like, is there an audience?
Oh, I figured out what it was. I had the fucking live stream playing on. Honestly.
God damn it!
I knew I could hear it out of his fucking headphones.
Twice in fucking 5 minutes, this motherfucker has shoved his goddamn. Never mind. Anyway, Good evening, everybody. Hello, Whitfield Report. Thank you for joining us. Akiba, I'm happy you're healthy.
I'm surviving. I had the flu last weekend. It hit me. I was up Friday night till 5 a.m. making a Cyberpunk 2020 tabletop character using the Pacific Rim Extended Handbook. Didn't finish him, and then I went to bed. I woke up at 12 and everything wanted to die. So I was like, I'm going to keep sleeping. And then I started to sweat and then have chills, and nothing changed in the room. And I'm like, oh dear.
Yeah.
So I hugged my Pipkin Pip body pillow and sweated it out like a motherfucker. Everything I could. And then continued to be sick all into last Thursday. Or last Thursday. And I'm just now kind of finally standing on my own two legs.
Well, you should have bought some Pipkin Pip coffee.
I'm not paying $30 for like 15 ounces of coffee that I still have to ground myself. I'm not paying that price. I don't care if it's good. It's not that. I lived in Hawaii. Listen, I know premium Kona. All right, I know good coffee.
I'm assuming it's because of my relation to you, degenerate. But Pippa has ended up in my YouTube feed and like some shorts and shit. and just the titles have been interesting. And she's pretty funny. I guess I get it. I don't know that I could watch an entire fucking stream, but she's neurotic and a little bit. She's neurotic and insane, and she's whatever.
Blowing up. She's playing the algorithm, and it's doing well for her.
Well, at least she doesn't have a stupid
tends to happen.
At least she doesn't have a stupid coffee club like Geeks and Gamers does now, where you have to pay like monthly to buy that shit. So
yeah, I'll be honest. I don't really care. Like, I mean, I mindlessly watch so much shit on YouTube that I think it's very good for it. Massages the brain. Just mindlessly scroll through shit on YouTube. It's very good for you. But her enthusiastic little PPPP things, I guess that is her trademark. She doesn't do it all the time. One of the first times I watched a video of like, oh, that's cute. And then she talked about like shooting up a Walmart or something. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. I can see this.
She's still kind of schizo, but since she's the front runner of her company, like she's the most popular by far. She's playing the game a little more just because of the nature of it, and she wants her company to do well.
I can't blame her for that.
She's not as corpo as corpo can be when we're talking corpo VTubers, but she's still corpo. Don't ever forget that. Remember what she said early on about parasocial relationships, kids. Don't do them. And in the same way,
no, it's content. You're the one that's got a fucking pillow that you squeezed when you were fucking sick, bitch. So don't talk to me about
birthday gift. To be fair, that was a
I don't give a fuck. It's you're the fan. You're the big fan. I am just trying to relate as she played co-host. You're putting in the work, and I appreciate that. That's right.
Well,
yes, I am alive. I am alive this week.
Well, so she's a VTuber, but for all we know, she could just be the VTube version of Amaranth or whatever is going on there.
Hold on. I know she, by her own admission, she's trailer park trash. So
she's autistic. She's legit autistic. Like not even to be mean. Like
yeah.
No. Yeah, I
doubt she's very hot. No, otherwise she wouldn't be a VTuber.
She's from Ethan Ralph's neck of the woods area. It's a slim chance.
Oh, okay.
And considering how much of a social outcast she was during high school, she's not any. Streamer based.
And I mean, which is so weird. Like it's such a weird spin on society. Like because I think I've said this before, and I know I told this to Mundane Matt, but Mundane Matt's original platform was he just read news articles, and he had a little. We talked about him being potentially, potentially the original VTuber because he had that little fucking skull that moved around as he talked. Right?
Yeah, but he wasn't the first. If you want to be the original VTuber, we're talking internet aristocrat because that was when a real face was put to a voice.
Sure. Fair enough. But
I'd say Jim even because it was more of a person than just an icon.
Well, I guess my point is
sorry.
Was that before I forget was that like I enjoyed or I consumed Mundane Matt's early content in those days, like passively about gaming news and whatever. And then of course, the cursed Gamergate. Yeah. And then of course he gained traction and then he started doing videos with his face. And I'm like, oh god damn. This is a fat neck bearded retard. I mean, look, I like Mundane Matt. He's a faggot, but so are a lot of my friends in real life, so I can forgive people for being nerds and faggots and shit.
And then he cried on camera over the silver play button, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the fake cry. The fake cry was
that's where that story goes.
That was way beyond
to look bested, but
yeah, that was way beyond when I quit watching that fucking nerd.
Kids,
but yeah, so
never cry on camera.
But again, the overall point I was trying to make again about, your crush Pippa, the autistic queen of the what is it, Face Connect.
Yes. Very good job on
like,
that.
Yeah, like it's entirely, it's a whole new thing. You couldn't, if she could do this Pippa character the entire way through middle and high school, and she would be fucking weird. She would have some friends, probably, but she wouldn't be making money, certainly, and become like a cultural thing. That's fucking weird. It's cool. I'm very happy for it, but it's the ripple effect that it creates. The parasocial shit, which everyone's aware of at this point.
Because of the rise of VTubers,
I don't even know that it's the rise of VTubers, man. Like, just internet personalities in general. People get connected. The people, the vloggers and shit that have been doing it forever, they become connected, and they feel a personal relationship. I don't know of any examples off the top of my head of people doing crazy shit, but certainly there's people that have ruined their lives at the expense of pursuing something that someone else was doing, trying to, cozy up or whatever.
I will tell you this quick story. There was a guy back in like 2014 who was subbed to my show back on Blog Talk Radio, and for whatever reason, this guy would basically send me like PayPal donations, and then like for whatever reason he emailed me out of the blue and like wanted to like move in with me, because it turned out that like he had like gotten foreclosed on his house, and like he thought that like we had some sort of like actual friendship going on, and like I had to tell him that no, I'm sorry that this happened, but dude, you're not moving here, and I'm not telling you where I'm at, so
dude. And look, and the more I think about it, like, this shit goes back as far as popular culture reaches. Like, we've got the dude that that shot Reagan at the behest of
Jodie Foster.
Guinea cunt. Yeah, that's
it was yes, because a talking dog,
after reading
with the voice of George Bush Sr., told him that she would give him a blowjob. That's why that happened.
Come on, like that's
my favorite White Kids sketch.
The whole quote unquote parasocial relationship thing I think that's been around for a long. Celebrity worship has been around for as long.
Any celebrity murder, any celebrity murder by the death of a fan, a super fan, no, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
just in general.
Scale. Oh yeah,
no, right. It's a good point. It wasn't on such a massive scale. It was very nuanced. There's tons of local stories, smaller newspapers and shit for decades. I would bet money on it.
Yeah,
of people doing crazy fucking shit at the thought of achieving some goal with the person they saw in the newspaper or on TV or at a play.
Those sorts of people probably should have been in some sort of institution receiving help. That's also the other thing.
Yeah,
a lot of those cases were folks who slip through cracks, and
Okay, now let's expand that to modern day. Most of us should be in some sort of psychiatric care. Is basically what you're saying.
God, not there. We need asylums back, like 100%.
Oh my God,
should be.
I was literally thinking about that today. If there was an asylum, I would have checked.
We were still in that time. Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Voluntarily,
absolutely.
I would have voluntarily admitted myself at least a year ago, if not 2.
Oh yeah.
But
by now.
They don't want that. They want me to kill myself. They want us to kill ourselves, or or become
they want us
to
work. They want us to work like rats until we kill ourselves.
Well, they don't even want you to kill yourself. They just want you to take endless prescription drugs that will kill you eventually.
Which is, I mean, look,
and have children so they have more workers. Again, hi, welcome to the Sam Whitfield Report, where we're gonna burn corpo shit tonight.
we're gonna talk about killing ourselves, as we've done for years,
and burning corpo shit.
Wake up, samurai! We've got a city
podcast to get off rail.
Well,
dude, it's the best show on the internet, man.
Well,
mostly because I'm on it.
I would agree. So,
well, I'm just gonna wrap off by saying I used to watch a trio of Let's Players called Super Best Friends play, and for a while they never showed their faces. For the sake of the gag, and they had cartoons versions made of them, and people loved it, and people fought against it and them showing the real faces until that became streaming, blew up, and all that shit. Now people are how they are, but they were on to some proto shit by doing animations of their Let's Plays, which had no face to it, and then people doing fan animations of Let's Plays began like that.
Yeah.
And now we're just kind of seeing more that because the technology is so cheap to do VTuber rigging and all that shit, even in 3D space.
I actually have. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm just saying we're at a full circle kind of thing.
Well, there's still some Puritans left. One of my favorite, actually, perhaps the only, in fact, the only gaming channel that I watch every upload of is currently called Neebs Gaming. They've been around since they used to do their original content was original shitty animated YouTube videos back in like the early pre-2010 or 2010-ish era, and they've got dozens of episodes of that. And then they started making Battlefield and Friends during the Battlefield 3, when the Battlefield 3 game came out in 2011.
Right.
They started making animated things of like what happens in the game, and it was spot the fuck on. It was really good.
Yeah.
And they did that for years, machinima, blah, 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 blah. But they still, the same group of fucking like 5 or 6 dudes, they just play different games, and it's unscripted. It's been fun to watch. Like, it's the only, they play games that I won't play because I mean, as I mentioned, when I thought we were the fuck on air, my laptop is 13 years old and either it's dead or my charger's dead. So if I sound weird, maybe I said that. I don't even.
You did not say that since we've been live.
Okay, yeah. So if I sound weird, it's because I'm talking through a fucking earbud. That's right. That's what I was saying. Sam's like, "Oh yeah, well let's go live then." We're not actually. You fucking prick. I'm so mad at you.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Well, listen.
That's my fault too.
I had no idea that you thought we were live, so I was.
Well, look, I work past 9 o'clock. Every time I work past 9 o'clock, you start at 9 o'clock, motherfucker. This time, you waited until Akiba was here.
Yeah.
So this is what's going to happen.
I was the last one to arrive.
Hold the fucking phone. Hold the phone, friends. This is what's going to happen from now on. I'm not coming anymore. I'm out. I'm taking my. I'm leaving the ball. Nope. I'm leaving the ball.
No,
and I'm going home. You guys can keep playing. I'm going home.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm in the fucking car. Get your ass back in the fucking building, or I will blow this car.
I'll walk, bitch. I will walk. I'm happy to walk.
Don't make me get the baseball bat.
And it's uphill both ways.
Okay.
I'm happy to do that.
I'm dragging your ass back. You think I can't fucking break your legs? I've been playing Cyberpunk all fucking week and shit.
Man, I just watched some of the most heartbreaking
and I watched the anime.
UFC fights. Hold on. The most heartbreaking UFC fights of my life. Not really, but
well, my legs are already broken, so tough shit.
God.
Nah, just kidding, folks.
Yeah, Apex, careful.
Never gonna give you up. You're not.
You're
No, I
not
can't
allowed
wait.
to leave. Otherwise, you're going to be the next one in the wheelchair, and we're going to make
I
fun of
can't.
you.
No, I can't wait to meet Sammy, and I can throw over my shoulder like a damsel, and like carry him on camera over my shoulder, holding him by his skinny little busted ass knees.
Wow, and you thought the concept of Johnny Silverhand being inside V's head was gay. But
oh yeah, no.
Throwing me over.
That sounds funny, Sam. That sounds like good content. Gay, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, throwing me over your shoulder. Yeah, that would be hilarious, actually. So
yeah, man.
Just
and like
literally something you
wandered
can do
doing like a like bouncing you up and down like a Jewish thing, you know, like a yeah.
I don't know the thing, but if you do the music, people know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
God bless the Jews. Because somebody has to.
Yep.
Somebody needs to for fucking.
So why not God, apparently? Anyway, boy, oh boy, let's swerve off of the Jews and back on.
How about that Kanye, guys?
Oh God. I mean, if you
dude,
want to go there.
I think but legit, I think he's gonna get murdered. I think somebody, it'll be something really fucked up. It'll be some.
Well,
I don't even. He keeps calling for it, and the way these kids are these days, I don't.
He's not gonna. He's not gonna get murdered. He's going to get. Well, he's not. Well, he's going to get suicided.
John McAfee.
And they'll say it.
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't think so. Like suicide. It seems like if they got. It seems so easy to hire some fucking gangbangers in some town, some city, somewhere that he's.
No, that's the point. It's not meant to take him out. It's meant to send a message. It's just like Epstein. That shit wasn't done to make it look like he actually killed himself. It was done to say, try us.
Yeah.
Try to fucking disprove this. Try to fucking say any shit against it. Yeah, it looks shoddy. That's the point.
Kanye did say
it's not to silence, it's a message.
Yeah, he did say in that what was it, Drink Champs? I think that interview, the Drink Champs interview that he did. He was like, he literally was like, come and kill me. Come fuck it. Like, y'all niggas come kill me. I'm here. Y'all.
Well, I mean, he's also been battling.
But hold on. The point though was
he's ready to die.
He's like, if you do, there's gonna be some young nigga that's gonna come up just like me, but worse. He's gonna know everything I said and everything I did, and he's gonna be worse. And it's like, I can't remember, verbatim, but
yeah,
he said the N-word a lot, and he inferred that the youth are going to be respondent to what he's doing and saying right now. Well, I mean, so even if you kill him, that's a fact. That is a fact. Like that, there's no denying that. That dude is the richest black man that's ever lived.
So much, he's saying it so much that there's no way, because if he does, then everyone will go, "Oh fuck, he actually called it."
Yeah,
and that's when the actual
real, dude. It's so real. I don't think I've ever enjoyed a Kanye West song, but I also don't think I've ever intentionally listened to one. I probably have heard one and didn't.
There's some good ones.
I probably have heard one and enjoyed it, but I just didn't know it. I just don't listen to that much rap or hip hop or whatever. I'm not that.
Yeah.
I'm not that culturally relevant.
It's okay to be white. It's fine. You're good.
I listen to death metal and shit.
As the hip hop aficionado, connoisseur, historian, it's okay. I get it. Not every music's for everyone. I get it.
Come on, white boy.
The Life of Pablo album is surprisingly okay.
A lot of his stuff.
But yeah, no,
he had a crazy period.
I'm sure. I'm sure a lot of it is. I just, again, I literally have never even listened to it, so I don't even know if I like it or not. That's the thing. I've never taken the
no, I mean,
had the interest, but his cultural impact is beyond obvious to me and has been for decades.
He's
and I
like
kind of
any other artist. He's got good and
I
bad,
I have an aversion to what's super hype, and he's always been super hype, So I'm like,
yeah, no,
I don't really, I don't. I mean, if I find it and I like it, it's fine. But I don't want you telling me, along with every fucking other person in the world, that this is what should be. Whatever. Maybe that's.
Yeah, no, I was never really into him either. I just, a lot of my friends were when we were growing up, so
I mean, I'm just saying, I wasn't always into fucking metal. I can relate from the other side. I got into fucking metal, got into fucking Motorhead. Then I realized, there's some Motorhead stuff that it's okay, but it's all pretty good. It's kind of like Kanye West. It's kind of like that. There's some stuff that's like, okay, I can kind of see why that was in that career, but there is good stuff. But you have to enjoy the genre. And like, I don't want to say that like somebody who's not into metal can't enjoy Motorhead, or somebody who's not into hip hop can't enjoy Kanye, but it helps if you do.
Well, see, the thing is, man, is I like the first music I fell in love with was literally Biggie and Tupac in the early 90s.
Okay.
They were my shit. I literally cried when they both died. And
so then it was literally
that was my first real movement into music as
so it was literally just the fact that he was popular.
I don't know that. No.
Oh, no, I mean that you had the aversion, or like you just didn't care about Kanye.
Yeah. No. I just mean
you like hip
hop. No, I think what I mean is that I started at hip hop and in the early 90s, and then my particular taste evolved from the early 90s hip hop, and I ended up in where I am, there's a lot of rap and hip hop that I love dearly. There's a lot of Tech Nine, especially, and Eminem, and I don't really know anything else. NF, I like NF a lot, who's relatively new, but also white. But yeah, no, regardless, my point is that I didn't like when Kanye rose, I was in a different genre. Yeah, exactly. When Kanye's rise happened, I was not listening to rap. I didn't care about rap.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Now I got you.
When when I was growing up, like Kanye got like so over talked. Like when I was in high school and shit, I was like, I'm going to avoid this because especially once he got with the Kardashians, because like, I know that Kim Kardashian is supposedly successful and an entrepreneur, and good for her, but she's still also and she and she's still famous at the end of the day for a sex tape, which somehow spawned a reality show, which spawned a lot of this garbage that we have now.
I'm starting to remember rap motivations now, and Thug Motivation popped up in my head.
Yeah.
Good fucking shit.
Sorry.
No, I remember I remember early YouTube days when like rap battles of history was a thing.
Oh yeah.
So now that's when YouTube was actually creative, but now you can't do that shit because, copyright infringement or something or other. So
somebody will be knocking at your door for something.
Yep, YouTube has become as corpo as anyone. Speaking of corpos though, Aqua, you sent us the
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't even say.
Yeah, let's dig into this, man.
I wouldn't even say it's weird, but like I was intrigued. You're like, you messaged me, and I don't know if
it's
you were
fucking
still, like,
weird, Sam. Just say it. Come on.
You said, I found a connection between Cyberpunk and America First, or something like that, and I was thinking, did Nick Fuentes like implant himself on a chip in your head? Are you hallucinating cat voices?
See, now, listen.
Wake up when
folks.
I sleep and Nick's just there taking a fucking selfie with me.
Now, listen, folks. This is where Sam, if he took this stream seriously, would have a screenshot of this message. Just a quick clip he could pull up on screen and be like, what the fuck did you mean by this? Instead of being like, you said something like, or whatever, you know?
All right. So what
Sam?
the message was I sent
Sorry,
a message.
shots fired.
Well, let's be a little professional. Some message saying, I nearly died over the weekend. I was trashed and bedridden most of Sunday and today. On the upside, I have some fun stuff planned for next show. Something that weirdly ties together. Cyberpunk 2020, 2077, transgenderism, and believe it or not, America First. That is correct. I do have something interesting for us to chew and mull on for this week that connects all of those things together. So,
which I'm fascinated by.
As I had once read, well, okay, so let's restart on what I've been doing lately. Being sick, I have done two things, and that is continue on with my playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077, the second playthrough, in which I'm having a fucking ball. I think I'm 80 hours into that one. And Sam, I'm going to send you something real quick so you can throw this up on air.
Sure.
So I've been going through it, and as such, I also rewatched the anime, and I have been getting back into the tabletop 2020. So
are there
things.
cat boys in Cyberpunk? Sorry to cut you off.
Yes, there actually are. There are canonically furries in the world of Cyberpunk, because you can, in the dark future of 2020, you can basically replace any part of yourself with anything. You could
Sounds
become
like a nightmare.
Yeah, well, depending on the kind of person you are, it plays out differently. So you have people who do in the dark dystopian future. Plastic surgery is extremely simple, and it can be done at your mall. And so there are poser gangs in Night City in 2020. Poser gangs are a weird group of folks. They're thematic, right? So let's say you have one group that they love being clowns, right? Or another that are furries, and they're just a gang of furries, and that's their whole thing, right? Or you could have one who, let's say, are really big fans of Elvis. And just like in Fallout, you have a bunch of dudes that literally not genetically, but alter their appearance to look like Elvis. They alter their sound. They get sound implants to sound like Elvis, and all this sort of thing. So they're able to be anything they want, right? So what's interesting is that this is the dark future, but back when America was one in the world of Cyberpunk, there was a collapse of America that caused Texas to become its own republic and basically split the country into two outside of the Republic of Texas. So in the Nomads rulebook for Cyberpunk 2020, this is the source book for nomads, the tribals that wander around outside of the cities and are very tribal based, right? There's a section on the fall of America, and that is diversity and unity, where the following passage from the book says, "It is now among historical scholars that in the decades before the collapse, America suffered from the sickness of racism and cultural identity. Everybody wanted to be seen as special. Every group had to be equal or preferably better than its neighbors, and fought to protect its, quote, special, end quote, rights. If anyone had something to say or had something that somebody else wanted, They were painted as racist, sexist, elitist, or worse. This diversive me-first attitude eventually tore the fabric of American culture apart and caused it to self-destruct in a fireball of competing ideologies, none of which truly recognize each other's validity. Diversity led inexorably to anarchy. This particular Cyberpunk 2020 book was written and released in 1993.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. When was holy shit.
This was a side source book for Cyberpunk 2020 explaining how it became dystopian in 1993. So
Mike Pondsmith is based, is what you're saying.
Mike Pondsmith is extremely fucking based. Extremely. That man is incredibly intelligent. Everyone he hires at Taltorian is very on the up and up.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much more in all of those books. It's just fascinating. But that's an interesting one because it talks about the America that we deal with now in our dystopian year of 2020, talking about all these groups. So what I want to bring up is a particular mod, or rather, let's start to a character. So in 2077, there is a character who they are trans, right? Now, this is the year 2077. We're far past 2020 of the, you can do anything and it's cutting edge. Now it's just a normal thing. For instance, you can just choose not to have genitalia, and there's mods for that. But if you want to chop your real penis off and get a Mr. Stud 5000 or whatever, you can do it. They're like $300, and it costs like $150 to get it installed.
Eddies or whatever.
Eurodollars, or Eddies for slang. So at this point, it's so easy. You can do it at the mall. It's really not that big of an implant kind of thing. Anybody can do it. So there's a particular character in Cyberpunk 2077 named Claire. And Claire is notable for somebody who went gender transition in the year of 2077 when you could just get swapped out parts, right? Say you wanted to have an interchangeable penis and or vagina and have it be fun. Yeah, no, done. Easy. 100%. Easy. But this particular character chose not to do that. They wanted to go the more natural way, rather, which is, I suppose, funny given the context of, I don't want to be a machine, but I'll alter my body's chemistry. But that's a conversation for another day. So, as such, Claire has a particular little flag on their truck. Sam, if you want to go ahead and bring this up real quick, that'd be great for the viewers. All right. Claire's particular truck has the current modern era, I don't know, 2019, 2020, transgender flag, the pink, the white, the blue one, right? And it's on the bed of this giant black pickup truck, and it's in the dash as well. So obviously anybody who knows this image knows that it is a flag that has been created in modern times for the modern ideology of having a flag to represent everything, right? This was not something that was native to Cyberpunk. Certainly, even though it kind of figured out and read in 1993 that, oh yeah, everybody was all these special groups and me first and all this, that, and they're your biggest and bigot and all that shit, right? For some reason, that flag makes it over 50 years, even though that was stuff that tore America apart before 2020. So I felt, you know what? I see it and it doesn't fit on the truck and it doesn't look good. I want to remove it. I feel that this is a little too modern for this dystopian that could be smarter about how they get across that this character is trans or something, right? Especially when it's something that's so easy in the modern future. So I went to go look for a mod to remove it. And I promise you, this is going somewhere. This has all been for a very long payoff. And I promise the payoff is here. So I go looking for a mod on the Nexus. And guess what? The mod does not exist because the Modders Nexus does not let you remove pride flags of any kind from any video game. And you will be banned if you make a mod that removes them. You can change other flags to make them pride flags, but you can't remove pride flags with your own mod on the Modders Nexus. That's against their rules. So I'm like, shit. So I just Google Claire flag remove mod, and I get sent to a modding website that does not censor you based on whatever political opinion you might have. cyberpunk2077mod.com, and in which I found remove or change Claire's flag. Now I'm going to send this last picture. Get ready to have this up, Sam, because this is where it all ties together. This is what y'all been waiting for.
Oh boy, can't wait.
So this is the description. Mod or remove the immersion-breaking transgender pride flag from the Beast car you get after completing the Beast and Me quest. Have the option to either remove the flag completely or, and I quote, replace it with the logo of the popular America First show.
Oh my god.
In my search to unfuck my goddamn immersion-breaking mod, I find somebody that not only removed it, but included the alternative of America First. So a Groiper made the mod to remove the flag, and I have to give credit to a Groiper out there somewhere for at least uploading it, I guess.
It's still just as gay though, if that.
Which is even funnier considering how much he likes that one fucking show, Euphoria.
Yeah, which I still don't understand what that show is even about, but that's another
teenage drug users and drama.
In California. So every CW show then pretty much basically.
Yeah, but with more actual tits, dick, and showing of drugs.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so
like
CW
Game of Thrones. CW
yeah.
shows the Game of Thrones level of presentation, I guess.
Okay, gotcha.
Nudity.
Yeah, that's all I need to know. I saw the trailers for Euphoria and I'm like, this looks terrible. So
yeah. So I thought that was extremely hilarious considering that I went to go look to get this mod removed. And I wouldn't have talked about it normally because I don't care that much. That whole character's been discussed to death. But the fact that when I did find the mod to remove it, they're like, or you can change it to the flag of this super popular show, America First. And I'm like, is it? And is it?
I mean, the thing is
a Cyberpunk 2077 mod was the last place I expected to find Nicholas J. Fuentes.
Well, yeah, I mean, you would nothing really surprises me anymore.
Dude, I don't know how that does not surprise you because that surprises me.
Well, I mean, it surprises me a little bit, but then again, and I'm not making this up. There's a guy that works at the local Dunkin' Donuts that I go to on occasion, who he and I got into talking about podcasts, and he goes, yeah, I used to watch this. I used to watch this show called The Kill Stream.
Oh God.
And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, but I stopped watching a few years ago. And I'm like, why'd you stop? He's like, I don't know. Ralph just became boring. I thought this guy was like trolling me for a second. I'm like, out of all the places I could have run into someone who used to watch the Kill Stream, frickin' Dunkin' Donuts of all places.
I suppose if you have that sort of experience, then I suppose, you're more prone to believe that anything's possible. But for me, and as deep of a fucking bending twister as I've been with this fucking series, that was the last crossover I expected.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't be so surprised next time something like that happens then.
Maybe, but I mean that is kind of funny now that I'm looking at it, because I mean I can imagine that that you got it and maybe like a handful of other people, but I can imagine a whole bunch of other people are like, what the fuck is?
Well, yeah, because
this?
then it almost like it's used for advertising at that point, because it's like,
Well,
I don't
yeah.
think that many because think about how many like people would have probably, I mean, maybe there'd be more crossover than I think, but the people that are playing Cyberpunk, the people that care enough to want to remove that flag, who like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, as I've explained before, like I have a friend who works in Washington D.C.
Right.
and I think I might have told the story, but in case I didn't, a few months ago he calls me and he's like, so my boss, who's a congressman, like keeps talking about this thing called Gamergate, but like what was Gamergate? So that's why I had that show a few months ago where I asked you, Ak, about like what Gamergate was. It was basically like a history lesson for the normies. And even now, like a lot of people still don't know what Gamergate is, and I mean now, I mean it's been over for a long time, so now there's no really reason to care, I guess. But like,
Yeah.
It's like we exist in a very esoteric, thing where meme culture weirdly transited into politics somewhat, but not entirely.
Yeah.
It's like people still don't understand to this day what Pepe the Frog is.
He's a frog. That's all he's ever fucking been, man.
Yeah.
He's never been nothing more than a frog.
Yeah, no. People don't understand that though. So
they don't understand why it's so important that he's just a frog.
Yeah. But yeah, that's wild. I'm curious which option. So this is your second playthrough, right?
Yes.
Which of the 7 endings did you pick the first time?
I did all of them on my first playthrough, but I actually went through all the way to the Corpo ending, to the Arasaka ending.
Where
in which I chose to live rather than Engram.
Oh wait, but doesn't V die like regardless or?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. The only way that physical body doesn't die is if I mean, spoiler alert, but it's been over a year. And if you got in because of EdgeRunners, you were way too late to the party. Hurry the fuck up, Gonk. Is if you give it to Johnny.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that body doesn't deteriorate.
That's what I've done. That's what I did on my first one.
It's a good ending. It's a good ending.
People were mad at that because they're like, you should go with Pan Am, but I'm like, no. In canon, I mean, obviously you can choose the ending, but the way they do the Johnny ending, it kind of seems like that's the ending that they want you to pick, I guess.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the brighter endings, which is, I guess, slightly off note for it, but it also wraps up the whole thing. Is it's just another fucking tale in Night City, man. It's just another fucking tale.
Well,
and I think it does that very well because one ending is completely super open ended.
Well, and the other thing that a lot of people don't seem to remember or don't seem to understand is that Cyberpunk, just like Blade Runner, is is basically like a film noir, or like a neo noir. And in that genre, in noir, there are no happy endings. Someone always ends up dying or something.
And that's the whole genre of cyberpunk, or at least Mike Pondsmith's cyberpunk. The whole premise of that game is you're not out to save the world. You can't save the world. The most you can do is save yourself. And that is cyberpunk to a T, especially anywhere in Night City. If you're playing a cyberpunk character, if you are a cyberpunk, if you do this adventure and shit, you're not here for a long time. You're going out for a blaze of glory. You're not here to live a slow, quiet death. You're going there to go, and you're gonna fucking burn, and you're gonna burn bright before you burn out. So it's also very Yakuza in that regard. Like, you know, you're not gonna live past a certain point, so fucking pedal to the max. Don't look back, just do it. And it's for those more cautionary in life, it is sort of a cautionary tale. But to the genre, it's 100% like it hits that theming home really good.
Yeah, I don't know if this is real or not, because you hear, you know, people write shit on the internet all the time, but on the cyberpunk subreddit, someone said of the suicide ending that they were actually, that like IRL, this person was contemplating suicide at the time. And then they decided not to, because of all the reactions from like the characters. And then they were like, oh shit, well, what if I committed suicide? You know, what would my family and friends think of?
Yeah.
You know, how would they react? So in a weird way, I guess it stopped someone from, I mean, which is still pretty dark, but, you know, I guess maybe that had a positive impact then. So,
I mean, if it is, you know, it's purely coincidence on that part. I think it's the suicide ending is an interesting one for many reasons, but I think the core of it is that it is probably in both ways the least cyberpunk way to go out and the most punk way to go out.
Yeah.
Because the whole punk thing is just like, fuck it, I ain't doing any of this shit. But in terms of cyberpunk, it's quiet, it's snuffed, it's not the edge runner kind of style. I mean, because it's all practically suicide anyway, in different forms. Like the possibility of living through any of those scenarios is already slim. You're already gonna die. It's just sort of I guess to really put the fucking pedal to the metal on it.
Yeah, the most depressing ending, and the one that I get like a lot of, that I've seen several videos breaking down the ending of, is the space station ending. And there's a theory that there's a theory that V never actually like makes it onto the space station, that you're just like in like a continuous, that you're like an engram, but you're in a continuous feedback loop or something like that.
Well, there was already problems with it being cleaned out in the merger, but I think it was pretty clear. It's like, no, they didn't. I don't think they grammed him until they grammed him officially, because like if he was, then he wouldn't have been able to leave the space station. He'd be locked in his moments, really. It's not like he could make one just as he was. Johnny wasn't able to make new memories until he was slotted.
Yeah. I will say that like the one flaw that kind of breaks the realism for me of the entire cyberpunk saga, though, is like, how the hell did we let Japan like back on top after World War?
Well, I mean, I mean, look at reality, dude. In the 80s, they were booming. If they didn't have the reminiscence that they had, like if they still stayed on the cutting edge of tech and they were able to be on that edge and ride it for as long as they could, where now other countries like China are starting to succeed in that level, they would have absolutely had the ability to easily overtake it, because in the perfect world where the Japanese companies developing this tech would have had priority and the best tech and to sell it out properly, the amount of contracts and money they could have made for the economy, as well as political hold once you have control over those communications. Because it's not Japan that rules the world, it's Japanese companies.
Right. Well, it's Arasaka.
Right, which is primarily, you know, a defense systems industry. It's like, imagine if all the military industrial complexes headquarters were in one country. Practically at that point, I mean, yeah, you have Militech and other things, but it's with the technological edge that, you know, some would say the Japanese have naturally, it's not too crazy to see.
Yeah, well,
at least compared to like Fallout's dystopian future of China, America.
Well, that's the thing is it's not. That's the thing is like it's part of the reason why Cyberpunk is so brilliant is because, I mean, in just 2077 was my introduction to, you know, the franchise, and then like I haven't played the tabletop game, but I've watched like a lot of videos on like the lore and whatnot, and there are some pretty fantastic breakdowns. I'm like, holy shit, this is eerily similar to our actual reality. Okay.
Well, it's like how Mike figured out the tech. He did a lot of research into tech that was being done in the 80s.
Well, yeah.
He was very smart, so he was able to predict where we're going to be by certain points and what, like the cell phone was obvious. It was just how long was it going to happen,
right?
And what form would it take?
Well, the cell phone has actually technically been around like since the 70s, you know, in one form or another. And the internet, like my mom, I think I explained to you, she's been in tech since like 1980. Right. So she was on like a very like early version of like email in 1985. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't like it's not like it is now. You know, you had to like enter in like, you know, a terminal and, you know, enter in like an actual like string of numbers that was the person's address. But like, yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff that Pawn Smith, you know, wrote out was probably, you know, shit that he was also probably toying with at the time.
Oh,
I would assume somewhat. So
it certainly shows through in the writing, but just like a lot of just the thoughts that he does a lot of study on culture to know how things are going to go too. Like every country is represented in Cyberpunk in one way or another, practically. There's lore written for every place in the world and how it is in this kind of future. Now, some predictions are less on point because, you know, when you're outside of that culture, it might be a little harder to predict where that culture is going to go. But, you know, that's kind of where the fantasy-esque, you can say, kind of can be that little overrider.
Sure. I mean, but you know, even small details like that the entire Middle East is basically like glass in the, you know, by 2077. That's not too far out of the realm of possibility.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, maybe like it didn't happen in the 90s, like, you know, he predicted, but like hell, I mean, you know, he did predict like a war in Afghanistan, and you know, the last 20, and that was like way before the Gulf War.
Oh yeah.
Even.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
But it's very interesting. I see a lot of people. I see people who tend to dismiss it because it's not like accurate to how our history actually went. But for a 1980s prediction, it's all really good.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously, like, not everything is going to be like on point per se, but well, I mean, like I've said for a while now that like in a way we are kind of living in this in like a a cyberpunk or
we
tech
absolutely
noir, call it what you want. We kind of are living in a tech noir dystopia.
100%.
Google is Arasaka.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to.
Amazon's like Militech, yeah.
No, I don't want to go to Google headquarters. I'm not Johnny Silverhand to that extent, but I think if anyone could develop like a soul killer, Google definitely could.
So. Oh yeah, of course they'd want to. Yeah, 100%.
So
we're already in the corp controlled future. It's just to how far, what extent, and what industries. It's just a lot more muddied and a lot less interesting because we're not all on LED bikes yet. We don't have the cool kind of cybernetics yet, or things that are beneficial, or synthetic lungs, or
yeah.
Our future is more dystopian than cyberpunk, but it is still dystopian cyberpunk. We just got more Orwell in it all. I think we got too much Orwell in the mix of it.
Yeah, which is kind of a shame. So
yeah, we could have had some real cool shit by now, but
we well, as you pointed out a few weeks ago, like we could have had flying cars, but then there would be like a 9/11 like every 5 minutes.
Yep.
Oh, which by the way, for all you people who have been, saying we need electric cars now, and we need everyone to have electric cars. Did anyone besides me hear about what's going on here in Florida because of the hurricane? This is not surprising. I guess in areas where the hurricane was really devastating, so Tampa, areas like that, people are now having to get rid of their electric cars because of the salt water. The salt water is corroding the batteries, and so the problem with electric cars is now in Tampa we have a bunch of cars that, for better for worse, are unintentional IEDs and roadside bombs.
Yep.
Basically,
you can't have a solution for everything. The coasts are always going to affect machines different. You always need to engineers think about that when they design shit for the coast on the waters.
Yeah.
And electric cars can do good, but under certain, you can't take an electric car and have it do high hills and shit like in the fucking Northeast or in the Northwest or shit like that. It's certain kind of terrains. Certain cars, you can't have them get too hot. Otherwise, you have problems. So, shit like in Texas, the battery expanding kind of thing under heat, that's things you have to engineer for. And that means regional electric cars, which is just 18 times harder. There is no easy solution, though.
Yeah. And then you also said you had like a 40-minute gaming rant that
oh fuck,
you were gonna. I have a rant. I have a quick, not a quick rant, but I have a rant as well, because apparently I pissed off the fan base of one of the like top Batman YouTubers, I guess. Because Gotham Knights came out this week, and I didn't pre-order it, but I did get the game. And all in all, I will say this: it's not a terrible game, but it doesn't live up to the hype train that was set up for it. And I said before it was released that it wasn't going to live up to the hype train. I mean, it was revealed a week ago before it got released that they were going to cap it at like 30, you know, they were going to cap this game at 30 FPS, which I guess was originally the reason why they said why they were getting rid of the PS3 and Xbox, the PS4 and the Xbox One stem, was because they wanted 60 FPS, and there were hardware limitations, that they couldn't do with the PS4 and Xbox, so they had to scrap it. But as it turns out, they didn't, they didn't have those limitations, but they're still going to limit it to the, current gen, to the new gen of consoles, I guess, only. Which I kind of said was a shitty thing to do. And a lot of people said that. And so I got criticized because I love the Batman YouTubers, don't get me wrong. But there seems to be this kind of collective hive mind that like any criticism of a game, and this isn't just for Batman, this is for any game, but any criticism equally equates to, oh, you're just a hater of this franchise, or you just want this game to fail, or somehow you're just a toxic fan. And it's like none of the above. Believe me.
But like, also, there's nothing wrong with any of that shit. There's nothing wrong with wanting a game to fucking fail. If it's a trash wreck of a fucking game that doesn't do anything for the franchise or the genre, no, fucking yes, let it fail. Burn it to the motherfucking ground. Like, negativity is not necessarily a bad thing, and I hate that people can't fucking get that. Oh, people.
Well, it's not even that I wanted Gotham Knights to fail. Right. It's more like I want Gotham Knights to be a good game. Scratch that. I want Gotham Knights to be a fantastic game instead of it's okay. And criticizing it. Look, I mean, I get that they're also this is another thing too. A lot of these YouTubers who back in like during the 2010s, look, I get it. A lot of you guys made your, YouTube brands off of doing Arkham Knight and Arkham City, gameplay videos. Okay, I get it. Just because you made your name off of the Batman franchise does not mean you need to suck the dick of every, Batman game that's out there and say that it's perfect when it's not. I was saying to Slick Mob, or rather his fan community, was there are issues with Gotham Knights that need to be addressed, and these YouTubers are like, oh no, it's perfect, these people are just haters. They're lying to them. They're lying to their audience, and they're lying to themselves if they really believe that. And now like Gotham Knights has come out, and like I said, it's okay, but it's not like, there are some things I like about it, but I would say that even for being older games, the Arkham trilogy looks better and it plays better than Gotham Knights does. And saying that does not equal being a hater. I agree with you. It's just a stupid mentality.
Well, Sam, what I will say is that you're dealing with folks who don't use logic, because anybody who uses logic is easy enough to understand logic and know that you're an understandable guy, and just understand how things are. Anybody who thinks something is without, like, you have to feel guilty for liking something, or something is without critical fault, like, it shouldn't fucking matter. And that's the point where they care too fucking much. Because, like, take it from me, I've got 207, almost 208 hours in Cyberpunk 2077, right? that game still has problems. It still has some serious fucking problems. And I'm not even talking on a mechanical level. I'm talking on a thematic level, a story level, many different angles. It is far from a perfect game, but I still fucking love it. But I'm still going to say this game is dumb sometimes and does some dumb shit. Like it does shit not smart. And there are ways to improve it, but that's every fucking game. And you can't. It's so hard because the thing is, there's so many people like that on Twitter. Well, they'll hype beast it to no end.
Well, part of it though too is this is something that Medicare was talking a few months ago. Was the monetization of gaming on YouTube, like, and that was my other point too. Because a lot of these YouTubers who got famous off of the Arkham games, they're making money off of the videos too, which, look, I don't begrudge anyone for being able to monetize their videos. I'm as much of a capitalist as anyone, but I do have to wonder, are these people praising Gotham Knights because they legitimately love it?
No, they're on the take. They're on the take. They're usually always on the take. If they aren't, they're an exception. And if you aren't and you do this, you're an exception. If you aren't, people are on the fucking take. No matter what, whether it's a franchise or not, they're on the fucking take till they get burned or some other fucking shit, and then they'll find something else to be on to, because they're bread tubers. They're looking for the fucking bread.
Yeah, and people were getting mad at me because I was saying, because this one YouTuber was saying, well, I want an early access review code, and I'm kind of mad that I didn't get one, and I was like, and I quote tweeted and I said, come on, be a man of the people and drop $70 like the rest of us, and then give us a review. Your audience wants an honest review.
No,
that's too much to ask, though.
That's the thing where if you're given a preview code to preview something and you're doing it preview, cool. If you don't buy the game with your fucking action, like, I suppose, maybe you could, but you're not going to give people who paid, you're not going to come at it the same way they are.
Right.
If you don't drop that money on the game, your anger's not going to be the same, or you'll let shit slide that you shouldn't. Right. It's not hard. It's not a thing about like, oh, you gotta do it to be 100% honest. It's not about being even honest like that, like, oh yeah, I'm on the take, oh, they're bribing me to say good stuff. It's that you can't give an unbiased opinion or the kind of opinion other people would have, even if you're a mega fan. If you drop the money, it's gonna hit you. It's going to affect you. I guarantee you, I'd probably have said, well, shit, I can't even fucking say that because I gave Cyberpunk a fair shake when I finished it in my head. But if I didn't pay anything, I was like, I probably would have overlooked way more stuff. I already overlooked a lot because, like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, so I will say this. So I did not spend $70 on the game because I had like a leftover PlayStation credit that I used, and then I also used one of those boosts from Cash App. So I think all in all, instead of paying $70 for it, like I paid like $60 exactly. So it's still $60, but that's $10 off, and so it was a little bit better than those who popped down 70. But even so, like I said, I'm like, it's an okay game. I'm glad I didn't spend the full $70, but is this worth $70?
And that's a whole nother conversation in and of itself,
Yeah. I mean, I would advise most people to wait until like Black Friday, honestly, if you haven't played it yet. So, the story's okay. It's kind of predictable. If you've read any of the Court of Owls comic books, basically, like from the actual series run when that was in 2011, congratulations, you've pretty much, you know, read the entire story of this game already. You know, minus like a few alterations. But you know, it's just like I said, I don't hate the game. It's a good game. I just, you know, I can't get overly enthused about it like I could with the Arkham series, just because it's not that quality of a game. It's just not. And you know, trying to say that it is just not true.
Well, people will get excited even if they've been fucked in the ass over and over and over. Sammy, these are, in some cases, these are abuse victims. You have to fucking remember that, right?
Oh yeah.
Because I have the perfect crossover to my next rant, because you have provided me the perfect bridge. So let's take a fan of a franchise, right? Let's take some franchise fans and let's start fucking them in the ass, right? At first, you know what? First, we'll give them a little ass. We'll give them ass for 4 fucking games. We'll give them the best fucking ass. But then we'll start taking it from them. We'll take a little more from them every time. Well, oh yeah, no, they can have a little bit of, but we're gonna take a couple fucking pounds ourselves, right? And then before you know it, as a fan of this franchise, I was like, this is great. I'm getting some fucking ass. Now you're getting fucked in the ass. And now it's regularly in every point, and you're getting fucked in the ass a little more and a little more. It's not terrible. They get you off, they give you a reach around, but you're getting kind of fucked in the ass, right? And then it really starts to slow, right? Then they fuck you in the ass, but they do it with the lights on, and they put on some fucking Conway Twitty, right? It's just, you're used to like the salt, you like Seal, you know, the lights on, you got some, you know, lava lamp going, some rose petals, but now it's just weird. Y'all are fucking the bluegrass, and it's like, what is this Vita touchscreen thing, right? And that's Silent Hill Book of Memories. And then they just fucking whore you out, and that's Silent Hill Pachinko. And then Silent Hill's not hi, we're talking about Silent Hill, everybody. This is about Silent Hill fans getting fucked in the ass for fucking decades. And so everybody gets fucked in the ass, right? They're all fucked in the ass for years and years and years, and Konami just keeps fucking them in the ass, just like they do Castlevania fans, just like they do current Metal Gear fans, just like they do every Yu-Gi-Oh player who has ever lived. Konami loves fucking people in the ass and taking their money. So they decided to fuck some more people in the ass and take some more fucking money. So very recently, they had the Silent Hill transmission, which they were going to announce some stuff. Now, Silent Hill has been a series that has been mostly quiet for a long time, and Konami more so. The last Konami title that was ever put out was Metal Gear Survive. Yeah, try to remember what year that came out. I don't think you know, and if so, it's still been too long. So we knew that a company called Bloober Team was going to be working on a Silent Hill project. Due to some murmurings, some leaks, and other things. We thought it was going to be a new IP, and based on their experience as a studio, they're very ham-fisted, and they're going to help Konami to continue to fuck Silent Hill fans in the ass. There's going to be no changes there, and to be honest, any Silent Hill fan who has a nice shaded, like, rimmed asshole, like jade rimmed, right? It's kind of sandpaper. It's already dry, but we have that jade rim on our asshole, right? We already know what to fucking expect. Boy, oh boy, did we not know what to expect. We were told Masahiro Ito, the monster designer for Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3, as well as Akira Yamaoka, series-long composer, musically, they were both going to be involved with the new project. Boy, howdy, did we not expect what was coming. So the Silent Hill transmission started, and it's what some people called, I wasn't expecting it, nor did I want it. Congratulations, you fucks. PS5 owners are getting their exclusive Silent Hill 2 on Unreal 5 Remake. Yay, we're getting a remake of Silent Hill 2. That's a big reveal, guys. It's Unreal 5, Silent Hill 2, Maria, my dead wife. It's not a story that everybody fucking knows by now. Oh, but pretty graphics. It's going to completely change how it plays. Okay, listen, it worked with Demon Souls because Demon Souls' combat is actually interesting and dynamic, and there's growth. You learn to be a better at that system and at the fighting, and you can style and have fun with it. Silent Hill survival horror. It's kind of one fucking play style pretty fucking much. And if not, you're going to get a different ending. But that's not the fucking point. That whole game's crux is one goddamn... Also, Sam, you're still showing the fucking thing. Clear that out. The crux is on this big like gotcha moment. Like, this is what happened all along. Like, what a twist, right? For Silent Hill 2. Everybody who knows Silent Hill knows it. Everybody who knows Silent Hill 2 knows it. You think somebody's going to buy on PS5 Silent Hill 2 without wondering where the fuck 1 was? You're out of your fucking mind. And they're not going to do any creative liberties with it, so I don't think they're going to be changing anything. So, okay, sure, whatever. I guess PS5 gets another exclusive, right? Sam, you're going to be happy. Oh, dear, it's just me. Sam disconnected. Holy crap. Well, let me, I suppose, keep on rolling. It's a little bit harder when I don't have someone to react to. For the podcast listeners, everyone else dropped out. It's just me. How you doing? So we're going to just continue this little rant. So at least until something drops. We'll see. So they go to announce a bunch of figures and statues, and guess what? All Silent Hill 2. No Silent Hill 1 stuff, no Silent Hill 3 or 4 stuff, no Silent Hill anything stuff. Then they announced a new game that's just a CGI trailer.
And we're back, I think. Let me see here.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, yeah, my internet decided. I think Konami hacked my connection.
I mean, they probably have Yakuza affiliation, so I wouldn't put it past them. So anyway, so Sam, I guess you're gonna be happy because you got, another PS5 game to play now. Careful not to get spoiled.
Well, I was gonna say that this situation reminds me eerily of the Last of Us situation, where basically it's a remake, but we're gonna repaint it and jack it up to $70, I guess.
No, because that's got like zero like graphical advance. It's got like 15% graphical advance. We're talking a PS2 game versus a cutting edge Unreal 5. Like there's no original assets being used whatsoever other than maybe some sound effects. So to be fair to Bloober Team, as fair as I can be, it is pretty much remaking everything from scratch.
Oh, so it's more like the Mafia remake then, I guess.
A little bit, but they've also changed it to over-the-shoulder third-person combat. It's not fixed camera angle like on PS2. Yeah, it's almost a different kind of game. Same story, same characters, same art style, same everything. Monsters, everything. The combat camera has changed, so we aren't getting the cinematic angles that we got that made the second game so tense. Well, all the early games tense. We're getting an over-the-shoulder kind of, I guess, more action-focused camera.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah. I don't know who this is for, because it's not for me.
Yeah,
I like Silent Hill 1.
There are a lot, and look, even with me having a PS5, it kind of sucks because, like, I'll be honest, as much as I enjoy it, it's weird because, like, very few of my friends have one.
Sammy, I I would be, say, a better use of a $70 instead of getting that on the PS5 is you give me the $70, I get you a fucking PS2 modded up, and you can just play the PS2 version. And I'll just get you, you can just up convert it. Or I can just help you install the PC version and up convert that because there's a very stable piece. You know, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
the art direction is completely different.
Well, and I mean, even with this Max Payne 2, you know, the remastering the Max Payne games, which I think they should have done that like a while ago. It seems. I mean, basically, I mean, gamers like to make fun of Hollywood because, oh, Hollywood has no original ideas. Well, apparently neither does the gaming industry anymore.
No, they don't. But you know who especially doesn't? Hollywood. Because guess what the other thing that they announced related to Silent Hill 2 is, Sam? I'm sorry to cut you off.
Let me guess. Just like The Last of Us, they're getting a HBO series or something?
No. They took the director of the first film, Christoph Gans, who didn't even play the game and had a secretary do it. He's going to make the second Silent Hill film. Ignore Revelations 3D, the actual second film didn't happen, because now he's taking the plot of Silent Hill 2 and turning that into a movie.
Congratulations. Not.
This is terrible. This is terrible. The only reason people think the first Silent Hill movie isn't that bad is because the one that came after was so goddamn garbage because it adapted Silent Hill 3 story, and it was garbage.
Okay, to be fair, and believe me, this isn't saying much, but name me a movie based off of a video game that is actually
okay.
good.
No. This one is like it misses the core 18 ways from. You can say Doom's boring, but Doom has the one action sequence. If you know anything about Silent Hill, you know that it just canonically the world does. It's like having a fucking goddamn. I can't even think of the analogy of like just the app. It's like. Dude, it's like having an Iron Man in your Batman show.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, keep it. Well, the director that you're talking about, though, I know who you're talking about because this is the same motherfucker who had his secretary play Hitman and fucked up not one.
Did Gans do the Hitman movie?
I believe so. He also did the shitty Max Payne movie too with. And look, nothing against Mark Wahlberg, but Mark Wahlberg, he's not like.
Oh no, that's Xavier Gens.
Oh,
what other movie were you saying? It was Hitman, and what other one?
There was Hitman, and then one of these bozos had their secretary play Max Payne, like the first one, and make a really shitty.
That was John Moore. No, they all do that, but they decided to hire him again for another movie.
Yeah, well, that happens a lot too.
But the thing is like, so now you're taking a story that's already been told 20 years ago at this point. You're going to make a new game and a movie, both with the same plot. So why would I pay $70 when I could go pay $5-10 to go see the film and get the same story? Or why would I go watch the movie when I can play the game? Isn't it the snake eating itself at that fucking point?
Yeah, but I mean, they just see you as a dumb consumer that's going to consume. They don't.
And boy, howdy, are people getting hype?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, you and I, people whine and complain about Gamergate all the time, but it's like, this is the shit that, actually, people are like, oh, well, Gamergate changed everything. Yeah, well, apparently not really, because
we're still bitching about the same fucking shit.
People are, listen, another thing about, one thing I will say that's good about there are a few like positive aspects to Gotham Knight. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying that the game is terrible. One of the things I really liked was the fact that, you know, for the art style, Jim Lee, who did the Batman comics for years, did the art direction on Gotham Knights. Why is that important? Because Jim Lee got cancel cultured, quote unquote, by one of these SJWs, just like Bruce Timm did, because he likes to draw, you know, women in the old pinup style, and that pisses the SJW feminists off. So what are the feminists pissed off about with Gotham Knights? They're upset that we have a curvy Batgirl with big tits and a nice ass. Personally, that's probably one of the better aspects of this game. So like I said, it's not completely horrible, and I will commend them for giving, you know, Jim Lee, that they uncanceled him, but he should have never been canceled to begin with, I guess. Yep. So, you know, I'd say you live and you learn, but apparently the gaming industry, just like everything else, doesn't learn anything.
No, and as we see, not because the fans don't learn. If the fans don't learn, nobody else has to learn, because now they're going to give you a remake of a 22-year-old game. They're going to give you a movie of a 22-year-old game, or the remake, however you want to frame it. They released a bunch of figures and statues, and guess what? It was all from Silent Hill 2. There were nothing Silent Hill 1 or 3 or 4 in any of the new figures or statues. It was all Silent Hill 2. And then thankfully we broke away from Silent Hill 2 for a little bit, so we could touch on more psychological horror games that are based on Silent Hill 2, because that's what everybody thinks Silent Hill is. So they announced Silent Hill Ascension, which is a cross between GenVid, Behavior Interactive, Bad Robot Games, and DJ2, and is going to be a interactive streaming series in which the community can come together to, quote, shape the canon of Silent Hill. So you're going to have a one-time only Silent Hill Night Trap, interactive Night Trap game for Night Trap on the Sega CDR Night Trap. I don't know what this fucking is. I don't think it's anything. But apparently we're going to be able to shape. We're going to watch it. We're going to tune in every week. We're going to make decisions, and we're going to shape the canon. It's exciting.
This sounds incredibly like a viral like one of those. I don't even know what the term is called, but like during the. So the way to explain this is, like, the best example I have of this is like during the lead up to the Dark Knight movie back in like 2007, there were actual like Gotham newspapers and actual like websites that Comcast like made as like some sort of like promotion video, like, and people could actually like, you know, like get text from like the Joker and like Batman and shit like that to like, and go to like certain locations, and it was essentially like a viral marketing like thing. That's what this reminds me of. It basically reminds me of tune in each week, you know, vote on this thing, and then buy more merch or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't even describe it good. I can't even tell you what it exactly is. I can't tell if it's going to be in 3D or 2D or live action, or if it's voting, or if it's a live stream. They don't have any details.
Yeah.
Please be hype for thing that can change everything.
Well, and I mean, and now the other weird thing too is like now there's hype for this Last of Us series on HBO, which, to be honest, I'm not even sure if I'm interested in that. They're saying that like that's going to be the catalyst for Last of Us 3, but like, does anyone like care about that franchise anymore?
Yeah, that's a way to look at it too. 100%. And the thing about this is that like this whole thing is it what does it do other than it quote shapes the canon of Silent Hill? But why do we need to shape the canon of Silent Hill as a community? The community's already proven they shouldn't touch the fucking canon because they'd undo every single rule about Pyramid Head because, ooh, we have to have Marketing Boy come do his marketing thing and be in every marketing possibility so that we can market the Marketing Boy.
Well, yeah, that's the entire problem with the gaming industry and entertainment industry just in general. And I say this as someone who studied marketing in college. I'm not a marketing major, thank God. Technically, I'm an English major, but I studied so much marketing, and yet I think people who work in marketing are the worst. They ruin everything because nothing is like for entertainment with them. It's all
profit.
It's all profit. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is part of that. This is part of that section that I like to call the we're pitching this live. This might not be a thing in the future if we decide to kill it. This is a let's throw this out and see the response, and that'll decide if we kill it now or not.
Yeah, well what I love now too is they set up, like, there have been a few shows where they have set up like, you know, plot points for like sequels and whatnot, right? Or second seasons, and then they cancel it and we never get that you know, second. And it's like, if you're going to, you know, do like a cliffhanger ending, like, wait until the series is like renewed for you know, like, and people should have learned that a long time ago with Twin Peaks, but apparently they didn't. And that series is over 35 years old at this point. So
yep. So yeah, so where we're at with things is we have Bloober Team, a mid developer remaking a beloved classic. We have a hack director who is definitely a hack 20 years later, doing another movie of the story we've already done 22 years ago. We have more figures parading that one fucking game, the sequel. Then we have an announcement of a web series, which is not even a fucking thing. It's not real yet. It's a logo at most and a concept. Done by some guys I've never heard of, and I think one of them makes Dead by Daylight. Then we have the announcement of another Silent Hill game called Silent Hill Townfall. It's just a title shot, pretty much. It's a title shot and a still shot of a desk. No platform, no release date, no nothing. They have nothing for it other than the title and the color scheme of red, I suppose. It comes from a no-name developer who's done literally nothing. And then we get an interesting one. Are you ready for Silent Hill F? I don't think you are, Sammy boy.
I'm sorry. Is Silent Hill F? Is that the title of it?
Silent Hill lowercase f.
F as in fuck the audience? That's what I'm...
Silent Hill F will be a completely new story set in 1960s Japan, featuring a beautiful yet horrifying world, reads the game description. Written by Ryukishi07, famed for Japanese horror visual novels dealing with murder mysteries, psychological, and supernatural horror. I don't know the platforms. I don't know the release date. I don't know the genre because it's a CGI trailer. Yes, Silent Hill, the Japanese-made game about a bunch of Japanese dudes that wanted to do American horror, so they watched a bunch of movies and read books and took that interpretation to make Americana horror, we're having a 1960s Japanese game.
That sounds esoteric. I mean, that sounds too, like, way too esoteric for mainstream audiences to get interested in.
Yep. And we had one more merch drop. Do you want to guess the merch drop? It's the second wave of famous Silent Hill merch.
Mugs, since
we're getting more
skateboards,
Sammy.
Now.
We're getting more Silent Hill 2, specifically Silent Hill 2 skateboards. We're getting the second wave of Silent Hill collection, Silent Hill 2 skateboards.
The second wave. I didn't even know they had Silent Hill skateboards. So
it became a fucking meme because who in the Silent Hill franchise, we're all in our 30s and 40s and 50s now. Who of us is skateboarding? I mean, me, but I'm the minority because I played Tony Hawk as a teenager and fucking skateboarded. But I'm also not going to be buying a Silent Hill skateboard if I'm going to go skateboard. And I'm not a tacky hipster who buys skateboards to fucking hang up on the wall. Oh, mind you, they're not even skateboards. They're decks. They're just the wood.
Oh.
So you could install your trucks and tape it, do the tape yourself and everything, but it's just the wood. They're just selling the decks.
And let me guess, it's $200 or something for this.
I think they're like fucking 80 or 90. I haven't even looked at the price. I didn't want to.
Still though, that's pretty outrageous.
An average good solid deck will cost you probably around $60-$70. So it's not too ludicrous, but it's a concept of no one who skateboards plays Silent Hill or cares. And because like Silent Hill kids are the nerdier kids, Resident Evil kids, those are the action kids, those were the skateboard kids. No, Silent Hill kids were bookish, they were nerdy.
Yeah,
they liked the mind game of it all, not the gun game. They weren't skateboarding. I mean, I was because Tony Hawk, but most weren't. Skateboarders were not Silent Hill players, and Silent Hill players sure as shit weren't skateboarders. And now we're all old and have bad knees and shit. So most of us don't even fucking do it that did skateboard. So it's literally just for hipsters. And I want to fucking die. And everybody's like, hype, yeah, good shit, we're eating good. Fuck Konami. They have fucked you in the ass game after game after game, series after series, franchise after franchise, and you are just happy to get fucked in the ass just a little bit more, aren't you? Holy fucking shit. I would have rather had Silent Hill Lego Collection 1 through 4.
Yeah, no, Konami seems to do this regularly too.
Everybody, if they didn't have Yu-Gi-Oh players, they wouldn't have somebody to fuck in the ass.
Oh God, I feel yeah, and there's a whole generation now that doesn't even know what Yu-Gi-Oh is because
they're trying.
They don't play. Yeah. Well, it's not even the Zoomers because the Zoomers are too old now. But Gen Alpha, whatever the hell this new crop of kids is, they don't play with trading cards. At least not Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh yeah, no, that's why they're pushing for digital transitioning anyway. They've been doing that for a while their new games is actually doing ridiculously well.
Fuck me running.
Oh, yeah, no, Konami's going to keep getting money one way or the other. Believe me, they will. But it doesn't help when Silent Hill fans just are happy to get their asses fucked again. Oh, my God. I hate it. I hate it so fucking much.
Yeah, Evil Eric in the chat wanted to know earlier if you were gay. And no, Evil Eric, you might be gay, but this is the problem. Akaba here is a straight guy, but that doesn't enjoy getting fucked in the ass by his,
I don't.
By his favorite franchise.
And I knew it was gonna happen. And you know what? I watched other people live get fucked in the ass. I didn't have a chance because you know what, with the remaster with 2 and 3, the backlash was pretty good. People didn't take the ass fucking that well, you know. But now it's been so long with no games coming out. You have a whole slew of people who've come into these old games and streamers playing them, and these people who didn't even know Silent Hill fucking existed before 2014. And now they're in that same category of just being hyped for new thing without knowing the fucking history.
Well, that's listen, man. You're talking to a Star Wars fan, like an original, not back to the 70s, you know, Star Wars fan. I'm not my mom, but you know, close enough. I've been a fan since like the late 90s. Of Star Wars.
VHS special edition,
and now, I mean, now being a Star Wars fan, like I wouldn't. I'm an OG Star Wars fan, but now being an OG Star Wars fan means that you're not excited about any of this, and now you get to watch all the other people get fucked in the ass by Star
and think
Wars
it's good and think it's great
because they're like, well, Kenobi, we've been waiting for the Kenobi series for, you know, for the past 15 years. Oh, wait, you mean to tell me that, like, the Kenobi series isn't actually about Kenobi? It's about this other character who no one knows, who faked a hate crime because her, her fame star is low, so we need to hype it up more. Oh, you mean that? Yeah. I mean, that's what Star Wars fans are used to now, is, you know, getting their favorite franchise subverted, and they like it. They like it.
But at least here's the thing though. At least with Star Wars, you're not getting Phantom Menace remade. Or, you know what, fucking Empire Strikes Back. At least you're not getting Empire Strikes Back every fucking series. At least that you're not getting a re-release of Empire Strikes Back Force FX lightsabers, or Empire Strikes Back fucking goddamn figures, or bringing back Empire Strikes Back cereal. You know, they're not doing a new animated 3D CGI Empire Strikes Back TV series and audio drama. At least they try some different stuff, but with Silent Hill, it's just, hey, you remember Silent Hill? You remember Silent Hill 2 exists, guys? You remember Silent Hill 2 exists? Don't you like Silent Hill 2, guys?
Yeah.
Wasn't that twist great, guys? Like, fuck, dude.
I will say this though. I guess the nearest comparison that you could get with Star Wars, though, in that sense, is when they re-released the Phantom Menace in 3D, and we're like, hey guys, it's in 3D for a limited time. You've never seen the Phantom Menace like this before. And then it's, you know, it's literally the exact same movie.
It's just Phantom Menace,
but in 3D. And then they, you know, use that to reintroduce Darth Maul into the canon.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. 3D doesn't add anything to it, even. Really?
No.
Other than you get to watch it in theaters again, I guess. Okay, fine.
Well,
whatever, I'll do that.
Yeah, which was cool for like, which was cool, but it wasn't like groundbreaking. And the other thing is, look. I mean, I like Darth Maul, but I do kind of like the idea that he did die at the end of episode 1. I don't really know why we needed to bring him back. It was cool for like 2 seasons of the Clone Wars, but like they really played him out like
marketing boy.
Yeah.
Why is Pyramid Head there every fucking time? Why is Pyramid Head the only monster that ever had a unique design? Why is it also 2 that gets remade with everything? Marketing boy. Why was he in movies and in games that he wasn't supposed to be in because logically he's tied to one character? Why is he in all these other Western games? Marketing boy. Why is he in the 3D movie? Marketing boy. Why was he in the first movie when it's supposed to be based off of Silent Hill 1? Marketing boy. So why do they bring Darth Maul back? Marketing boy.
Well, and then, so, I mean, I've been playing Silent Hill 4 or whatever, and, like, to be honest, I haven't really played, I haven't played any of the others, I haven't played any of the other Metal Gear Solid games.
Wait, you said you're playing Silent Hill 4, then said Resident Evil.
No.
What are you playing?
I fucked that. I fucked that up because they're all okay. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 4.
Right.
And
on the PlayStation 3.
To be honest, yeah, I have the PS4 remaster, but
wait, the stream version?
The one with Kiefer Sutherland, where
that's not 4, that's 5. That's 5. 4 was only on PS3. Yeah, very different games. Okay, you're playing Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Yes, okay.
Yeah, well, I've also played the PS3 one, but I'm playing 5 right now. Right. Apparently, the Metal Gear Solid community is really pissed that Kiefer Sutherland was playing Solid Snake instead of David what's-his-face.
David Hayter.
Why? I don't. Yeah.
Because David Hayter had been the voice of the character at that point for 13 years, 14 years, 12, 13 years. He essentially was the character.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. So
also in Japanese, they did not replace the original Japanese Snake voice actor. He stayed the same the entire way through Japanese. Only Hayter got chosen different at the last game.
Well, supposedly they wanted to pick Kiefer Sutherland to play an older Snake, but I'm sorry. Bullshit. No, I agree with you. That's bull. I'm sorry. I'm so used as a fan of 24. Whenever I hear him say Snake and stuff, I'm like, I'm not playing as Solid Snake. I'm playing as Jack Bauer disguised as Solid Snake.
Yeah, no, it's just because Kojima had problems with Hayter in terms of their personal relationship, and Kojima really likes actors in Hollywood, so.
Yeah, well, in Kojima supposedly is a massive Kiefer Sutherland fan, but when someone asked him what his favorite film was, he just said The Lost Boys, which is what everyone says. So
he might also mean it, knowing him. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, so we're at that point with Silent Hill where it's just I don't care. I just watch them. I watch them happily hype it, and they're gonna give them money, and they're gonna get fucked, and they're gonna pay to get fucked, and I'm gonna be like, sorry, well, I don't know.
I mean,
do I hope these things are gonna be good? Sure. I know they're not gonna be. I've already lived through this too many times.
Yeah, no, that's me with Star Wars. Oh, Sam, you should have canceled your Disney Plus subscription. You're being a little too harsh. And then when the next Disney series comes out, they're like, well, that wasn't as good as I hoped. And I'm like, yeah, no. That's why I watch YouTube reviews, for free of all this stuff.
Be aware of anything that is in constant production or is scaled up to be massively produced in different areas. Don't ever fucking trust anything like that, because it will eventually be pushed into shit. Any creative juice will be wrung out for the process of making money from the franchise or IP.
You know what? I will say this. I fell into a rabbit hole earlier this week. I don't even know how I fell into it, but I fell into this weird rabbit hole of this YouTuber that reviews Steven Seagal movies, and he reviews the really shitty ones. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but the thing is the Steven Seagal movies are so bad that they're like funny because they're so bad. At least people watch them knowing that they're shit to, lampoon stuff. Like, that's one thing. But to like constantly be hyping stuff up as the next greatest thing and then just be disappointed, it's just no. But it happens all the time now.
And it's the nature of it. You can't stop the hype beast. You just can't. It's gonna go no matter what, no matter how much logic you need to apply. Whether it's Cyberpunk, whether it's No Man's Sky, whether it's Silent Hill shit, whether it's Star Wars shit, whether it's just a fucking logo or not, people will hype a logo to the ends of the earth and get it money.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I will give Alan Moore credit for this. Alan Moore is a bit of a weirdo, but I will say this. He came out recently and said that he fucking hated Damon Lindeman's Watchmen series, and that it was an abomination, and that he didn't know why he created it with the Watchmen branding, and again, marketing boys.
Mm-hmm.
So,
fuck corpos, basically.
Yep. Let's. Unfortunately, they can't trap us in, in Mashiki. Yeah, they'll try to, but
yeah.
But yeah, that would be weird, being trapped in a, in a cyber prison. As an
let's just not even go there, because that's when guns start getting loaded and shit starts getting burnt.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Anyway, though, other than that, let's also burn newspapers and the media. Why? Because unfortunately, there was nothing interesting that happened in politics this week. All that happened
was... Let's burn politicians too.
No, yeah, I agree. All that happened this week was the New York Times. This is how bad quote-unquote journalism has gone. There was a piece in the New York Times, I shit you not, Joe Biden eats ice cream like a boss. That's a fucking...
Wasn't that a cover fluff because he had said some dumb shit in an interview while he was eating ice cream and not knowing what he was talking about regarding the economy?
Yeah, but it was something like that. And I mean, look, it's Biden, so they've got to try something. But good God, you mean to tell me that these kids are spending 20-30 grand to go to journalism school?
Yes. No, they're not pulling no one's going to journalism school anymore. Fuck that shit. They're barely even hiring kids to write these fucking articles. You can have AIs write these articles.
Yeah, that's I'm pretty sure it's the AI route, because like I've looked in a lot of these newspaper like job websites, they do require you to have a journalism degree, but I'm convinced that the entire industry is run by robots now, because fuck,
AI's already at the level. Yeah, why pay them?
Yeah,
Pay for editors, pay for revisers who have to be less experienced, and you can pay less.
Yeah.
And then just have them curate and give the human touch to the robot topic in which you paid nothing for, and roll it. Fuck it. Especially if it's something mundane as eats ice cream. Like, fucking Christ.
Yeah, I mean, look, I wouldn't really care except that, like, I'm like, seriously? That's your excuse? Like, at least they tried to do creative shit to, like, cover up Obama's clusterfucks when he was president. But now it's just like, oh, look out, this 70-year-old man, he eats ice cream like a boss.
They've got statistics that they don't even need to fucking worry about it. That's why, man. People are dumber than ever. They are dumber than fucking ever. They care less than fucking ever.
Yeah, no, Medicare's right just to laugh at the whole thing.
Laugh as it fucking burns.
Maybe he's a little, I hate to say this, but maybe he's actually lucky to have cancer, because I feel like once he gets out of here, shit's really, like, he's gonna miss all the shitty part.
But he's the kind who can always find something to laugh at, even if that motherfucker lives another 30, 40, 50 goddamn years. Let's fucking hope, right? He'll do the same thing he always does. Laugh at fucking idiots on the internet.
Yeah.
And we should all strive to do the same.
Mm-hmm. So, speaking of, congrats on, since you were gone last week, in somewhat lighter news, but not really, congrats on the return of your other show, The Good, the Bad, and the Vicious.
Thank you. Somewhat. It was a very good show.
Did you see the Faith Vickers interview with Cog? I'm curious.
I did not. I have been kind of busy
not done
over these last few days. Yeah. So, I mean, this whole last week, but especially these last few days, I've been catching little bits in here and there, and me and Mr. Vickers have been speaking through it and shit, but I did not catch it. No.
Well, also I made a joke last week that you caught swine flu because like a boss, and I actually named the stream GamerPunk ChudRunners because you are a chud, and you didn't wrangle a pig, you wrangled a horse last week.
I certainly got its attention. I'll say that.
And it blocked you, and then apparently it's the horse is now like on a rampage because Faith did one interview on Cog stream talking out her time with her and the Rage Pig, and it's
let's just be 100% transparent here. That's not May. Amanda Morris does not control her own fucking Twitter account. That's not her speaking through that account. That is 100% Ethan Oliver, goddamn fucking Ralph. 100%.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's a pig in a horse costume. Really, is what it is. Which for some, that's a funnier mental image.
So you wrangle. So wait, you actually wrangled a pig wearing a horse outfit, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, that is.
See, my time in Red Dead Online really did pay off. I promise.
Oh yeah. No. No. Yeah. Mine did too. It's just, if we want to go that route, I have to say that Micah Bell is actually more desirable than Ethan at this point.
Yeah.
But I guess and I guess people are now rewatching my interview with Vickers because people are saying, Well, you said on the Whitfield Report, Vickers, that you wouldn't make your show about Ethan Ralph, and you return and look at what it's all about. And you know, I can say for the record that Vickers never said he would ignore Ralph on his show. He just said that wouldn't be the only topic.
I mean,
that's
yeah, like I granted, yeah, we'll talk about it because he's in Vickers' life, and if anyone is listening to this for any intel or anything, yeah, no, we'll fucking talk about him if some shit happens, but like, of course he's gonna make jokes, right? The dude's integrated into Mr. Vickers' life, whether he likes it or not, right? And have there been some, like, okay, so episode 1 is horror video games. We had Gator on. We didn't fucking talk about Ralph at all. Episode 2, we had on Lars, who does the Gun comics. We talked about comic books, so naturally he was going to come up because of the artist. Internet Blood Sports, we were talking about the history. Of course he's going to fucking come up. Batman, he did not come up once other than some fucking jokes at his expense. Random nonsense, I don't think he did. Sandra Ralph, 100%. Guns, I don't think he came up much. Surgery Horrors, don't think he came up much. Fighting, we had Dan the King on, so yes, of course, he was going to be involved in that discussion. Vacations, didn't have any of that. Mr. Vickers wasn't even on that show. The week after that, the wannabe man boys of America First and video games didn't really got mentioned at all, and father's responsibilities with, again, Dan. So when we have this many people involved, then it, of course, is gonna fucking come up, but it's not like it's not like the crux of our show depends upon him. And I think
he'd like to think that, but
oh, of course, because it makes him the victim, which he loves to fucking be. Yeah. But even then, even if we do talk about him, who fucking cares? I mean, here's the thing: if we talk about it too much, people are just gonna stop fucking watching. They're not gonna fucking care. And that's okay, cool. I wouldn't blame you. Something being beat into the fucking ground day in and day out, that's boring for any show, right?
Yeah.
But the beautiful part is everything we talk about, it doesn't have to be about him. It may partially involve him, or it may give us some leeway to fucking throw a jab or two. But well, I mean, how are you going to not bring up something that's this ingrained into one of the co-hosts' lives, you know?
Well, and the other thing too is as Vickers has often said, this isn't his job. He has like an app, so he isn't dependent on internet clout, so he can just do
we do the show for fun. Like, I don't get it doesn't make any money. I don't get any money. I do it because I enjoy doing it. We can have as few viewers as possible, and I'd still enjoy fucking doing it. So like, the only reason we don't talk about him or make a note to talk about him every fucking episode is because it gets boring. If we're talking about him, it's because something interesting happened. He got beat up in Portugal. He got beat up in Portugal again. Who fucking knows what else it could be, right? He's a terrible goddamn father, and we're going to throw some fucking jabs and, you know, court stipulations. It doesn't fucking matter, you know?
I will say I found your analogies to Tamagotchis as well, you know, I'm not a dad. I had a Tamagotchi. I thought that was clever.
I mean, let's see. It's not hard. You have to feed the child, make sure the child don't kill himself, poop, easy. It ain't too hard.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing with like Furbies back in the 90s too. So
yeah. That's why I said the child rearing simulator princess maker. Like, you know, I ain't got experience, but I got enough to know, you know, what not to do, not to make a fucking spectacle of the child.
Yeah, I remember. I played the Sims.
Oh yeah, the Sims too. Yeah.
You know, and that was And actually, like, I forget when it was. Last year, I played The Sims 4, and I made like an entire sim, like not Sim City, but like sim neighborhood of like online of like e-drum personalities. So I actually had like a neighborhood of like Andy Worski and like PvP who were living next door to Ralph, and Ralph Sim is always like fighting with Andy's. So, and then you have Jim, who, because no one knows what Jim looks like I had to take a guess. So I just made the most stereotypical Irish looking guy I could think of, basically. And
a real patio furniture.
Yeah. So, but I guess Vickers will be back next week, and I'll be the guest, or I was invited, and I
Yes, you
said
will.
yes. So I guess we'll be talking horror movies. So
yes,
which means you'll get to hear all about my love of a certain cannibal.
Oh, good lord.
And whatnot.
Well, that'll be a fun topic. That'll be a fun discussion. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that.
Which, maybe Ralph does need to visit with Dr. Lecter. I'm not, well, but I mean, that man's mind is already broken. So,
True, very true.
And maybe he's even too broken for, maybe he's too broken for Hannibal. Although I'm sure Dr. Lecter would just see food at that point. So,
I mean, yeah, probably. Probably. But you can catch that this Thursday at 8 p.m. Central. I'm trying to remember my own showtimes here. At goodbadvicious.com. So if you want to tune in, see Sammy and I there doing our thing.
Oh, you guys have a website now.
Yeah, apparently goodbadvicious.com just links directly to the YouTube page. So that's easy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then I myself, Mr. Vickers and Mrs. Vicious Vickers will be recapping a special Sunday edition of the Good, the Bad, and the Vicious podcast because we did miss this Thursday. And that will be at 6 p.m. tomorrow, Pacific Standard Time, 8 Central.
Oh, and what will the topic be?
If let me make sure. I don't think it has been announced yet. It has not been announced yet, but I think it'll be quite fun. I think it's going to be something you'll want to exclaim for.
Yeah. I still have to say, as I mentioned on Twitter, that even though Mrs. Vickers wasn't on the podcast live, her coming into the room from a dead sleep and just shit talking Ethan had to be the funniest thing I've heard, at least, in a while.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah, it's gonna be good though. Everything's gonna be good as long as I don't die from sickness again.
Well, if worst comes to worst, just let Johnny Silverhand take over your body. So,
oh dude, it wouldn't even be a worry about that. That's just the automatic. If something goes down, boom, Johnny takes over.
Yeah. All right. Well, folks, sorry we had some technical difficulties in the beginning. I think Apex's phone died, or probably he just bailed. And
I'm gonna assume it died. I'm gonna assume the best in him. Fuck you, Sammy.
Either or at this point, and you know, and then the internet, I guess, hiccuped there for a sec because Konami is a bunch of cunts.
Yakuza associating assholes. Yeah. Cunts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those kind of stuff.
Again, Arkham YouTubers, don't hate you. Just stop sucking Warner Brothers Games' dick and actually, you know, look, if you're gonna
stop being DC fans, I'll say it. Fuck, Samuel and say it. Stop being fucking DC fans. There. You want somebody to hate? Come hate me. I'm a lot more fun to hate.
No, I mean, I have no problem. I have no problem with hating on the rest of the DC universe, but it's like, if you're gonna, here's the thing, I want to like Batman, but I also want people to do Batman. Oh, well, and that's the other thing. You can't even fucking play Batman in this game. And yeah, I know that's kind of the point, but still. Gotham sucked because that was a Batman show without Batman, and it sucked. And, you know, without Batman in this, so does it. So there you go. But anyway, I guess I'll see you guys next Thursday, and then we'll see you guys tomorrow. So
yep.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Yep. Adios.
Have a good one.
All right.
Thanks for listening to The Whitfield Report on the NGC Network. Please visit Sam's website at www.thesamwhitfield.com and support Sam on Patreon at patreon.com/Whitfield Report. Until next time, God bless, God save this great nation, and God, freedom, legacy, in that order.
Suck my dick, Warner Brothers.